Okay, so today I'm gonna show you how to enable motion blur in Arsenal because I think that's a pretty interesting thing that quite a lot of people asked me a while ago when I was making my montages. There's two methods to do this, so let's not waste time and let's get right into the tutorial, I guess. Let me also say this before we start: you won't actually have motion blur in the game itself. It will only be on a video, so you can use it for a video montage or whatever you're making. Alright, so the first method is actually inside OBS. There's one setting that you can change that will actually give you the motion blur that quite a lot of people are actually using. So what you want to do is go to the settings, then go to the video settings, change from common FPS values to fractional FPS value, and change the first number to 240 and click apply. This little setting will make sure you're actually recording at 240 FPS. So instead of normally recording at 60 FPS, you will be recording at 240 FPS, and because of that you can do one simple trick that I'm gonna show you in a second, and that will actually give you a pretty nice looking motion blur. And this motion blur is the thing that a lot of people messed up on. They use the Roblox RTX filter thingy that pretty much does the exact same thing, but it makes your game lag, plus I believe it increases the input lag, so don't do the other thing. After you type in 240 FPS, you can just click OK. You can already see it says 240 FPS, so we're good to go. Also, before you start messing with your OBS settings, if you have a pretty bad PC or something like that, don't really use the OBS method because it actually will kinda make you lag. Alright, so I cannot show you how this will actually look like. My PC is just not good enough. The second method is way easier and actually should work on most devices. But if you manage to actually get it working for your PC, if your PC is good enough to record at 240 FPS, or maybe you found a setting that will let you do this, because for me, for some reason it does not work, which is actually the reason why I never ever use this method, even though it's pretty easy. All you have to do is change in your editing software like Premiere Pro, Sony Vegas, or probably whatever software you have. They should have the same setting, but you will have to find it yourself because I only use Premiere Pro, so I cannot help you in other editing softwares because I just simply don't use them. But all you have to do is just export the clip that you have, and when it says time interpolation, from frame sampling change it to frame blending. And that's it. That's gonna give you the motion blur that quite a lot of people are using. And the other method is actually all done in the editing software. Also, I don't think it works with any editing softwares besides Premiere Pro and Sony Vegas, so if you can't do it, I'm so sorry, but this is just how it works. But all you have to do in Premiere Pro is add an adjustment layer. You can add it on the footage itself, but it doesn't really matter, so I do it with the adjustment layer, and then add an RSMB effect, and that's gonna do the trick. And from here you can change the blur mode to whatever you want, and you can also increase or decrease the motion sensitivity, and make sure to also check the GPU settings to turn on, because then when you're exporting, your processor won't have to struggle with it. Also, I forgot to mention, RSMB is not an effect that comes default with Premiere Pro or Sony Vegas, so you have to get it yourself. You can watch some tutorials on YouTube how to download it. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to the motion blur. So yeah, I know this kinda is like a pay to win thing. You have to pay for those things if you want to have motion blur. The only actual free way of getting it is by recording with OBS at 240 FPS. And yeah, I guess that's it for the video. So maybe some people that want to make some montages or something will actually know how to get the motion blur. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'm going to head out now. Goodbye.